How we doing, folks? Good morning. Happy Tuesday? Is that a day a week? Sounds right. Tuesday sounds right. Morning, Marty. Can I get a 2-star? I need to be more specific, chat. This is actually the only 2-star in the Pikachu pack that I have 2 of. Got one. That's so sad too. It's the first 2-star I've seen in a Wonder Pick in like a week. And it's just not worth pulling for. Sounds like you need some flares. I mean, unironically, if it was a better one, I would pull for flares 100%. What's going on, Retroid? Been traveling a good bit, but good to be back at work. May not actually be working. Jury's still out. I won't tell if you don't. Thanks for the 26 months. Good morning, good morning. Game still. Yep. Maybe I'm not supposed to play the second one out. Play around Sabrina a little bit. Need to draw a big egg here ASAP. That said, there were no targets. That means their hand is Charmander Moltres. Hey. Put an energy here, they clear this. I put this up, I put an energy here, they clear this, we crack them. I guess I need a fire energy underneath this for that to work out. Second potion's actually a big deal here. It means that Arcanine does not clear it in one. Maybe I should have Giovanni'd to have 2 Giovanni's to play. Oh, I think I'm only on 1 actually. Probably torched. Second fire energy means there's a chance. I don't know if it's a good one, but it exists. Oh, wait, they're putting more energy on their Charmander instead of clearing the Growlithe? That's interesting. X speed's a wonderful pickup here. Playing Pokemon Pocket, and I sub for a gold duck number of months. This is the way. Thanks for the 55, duck. Good morning, good morning. So they could crack us to 60, and then I could go up to 80. Yep, there's the Charmeleon. Losing my potion is a big deal. That's probably game winning. I think we're done. There's a chance we were dead even with the even without the red card, but without the potions we're definitely gone. Hooklink Gyarados. Morning Kuro, thanks for dropping by a live one. We'll have a little bit shorter Pokemon Pocket segment today, because Marvel Snap's got some stuff going on the Twitch side. We're gonna play for a couple hours this morning. So I want to say, after watching your videos and your points on 5+ basics versus 4, I changed up my Starmie, Greninja, and my Venusaur EX decks, and they felt a lot more consistent with the change. Yeah, for sure. The first event going on right now is finally convinced me to start battling rather than just doing the pack opening sim, and I've been enjoying the gameplay and the variety of decks. Yeah. Feels real solid. Lead Magikarp is an interesting choice. Is this just going to be like a 150 hit point Gyarados shield to set up in the back? I'm only playing EX Executor. The deck's basically all EXs. We're on the Arcanine line, the Executor line, and then 2 Moltres. With the idea being they're going to knock out 2 EXs to win the game. Growlithe. Vibe on the other one, because we can find a Moltres we want to put out. Picked up the game Sunday night, and your meta video was exactly what I needed. Nothing else I found was nearly as up to date. Yeah, usually I do stuff like that on weekly series when I'm following a game, because things tend to move a little bit. The other best decks type things tend to get outdated. The Gyarados as a 150 hit point wall is so interesting. It's not something I've seen before. And obviously they've got Misty, so they could attack with it too, but it is just like a one knockout point, 150. I guess it's very comparable to Snorlax, right? Because it also has a retreat cost of 4. I should have put energy on the Moltres here, because it needs to can take 2 colorless to deal its big one, and then we're gonna set this up so we get to get our Arcanine set to go before the Gyarados gets cleared here, ideally. Where are they posting that proof, Tipsy? In YouTube comments somewhere or elsewhere that I can ignore? Chuki, thank you for the 62 months. Appreciate it. Welcome back. Proof that red card is good. Yeah. People think that they can write proofs in a non-mathematical sense like that are some of the biggest eye roll inducers. Just like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. What are your thoughts on Dodrio as an extra basic instead of Conducting? I was pretty high on Dodrio when Pocket first dropped during the soft launch, but it feels really clunky to play a stage 1 that dies in one shot to Pikachu EX is like the TLDR. What does 4K deck stand for? Putting a K is, maybe I should write 4,000. Maybe I should just write 4,000 now. We have the things. Is that an English thing? Is K instead of 1,000 not a thing in non-English languages? Maybe it's a language barrier thing. It varies a lot by country. All right. All right out 4,000. Good to know. All right, there's our big derpy friend. I think I put this here and clear the Gyarados, and then we'll be switching into the Executor. Actually, I think I put this here so that way when I switch into the Executor, I can threaten the retreat on it right away into the Arcanine, and they can't leave anything up that doesn't have a bunch of HP. I think is the plan. So we'll dance if we want to here. And then they can switch to their bird and put my bird down to 60, and then we'll put the Executor in and start cracking. Starmie, I guess Starmie's technically better than the Articuno because it means that, they can retreat for free. It's a shame we don't have the Giovanni to punish them putting Starmie up with the Arcanine. One of those in our deck. It's buried in the bottom 5 here. And then they crack us with Blizzard here. But Erica plus Potion undoes that real clean for us. Still putting the energy on here. Am I using the potion as well? I don't think so, because the potion doesn't save me from 2 hits. I think we just do this. And then they're only at 1 knockout point, so I think the play here is they switch to the Starmie and hit me down to 40, and then I tropical swing them and wait for their Starmie to the times you're on Potion over X-Speed, most of the time you'd rather just play X-Speed. I think X-Speed is a more powerful card. Okay, so the opponent has elected to be dead on board. I think they were going to get there one way or another. We actually drew the Giovanni, so even if they had retreated to their Starmie like they probably should have, they still would have died to this Giovanni top deck. Just really clean setup here. We have to get everything up and dance around and have all of our powerful attackers in and out. Jeff, are you playing the offline TCG well? I am not. I don't really play any physical card games anymore. Play board games when we're doing some analog gaming, but that's about it. Alright, gamers, we need to take a quick pause for the cause, roll some ads on the Twitch side. We'll see you in 120 seconds. We're going to play some more of this Executor Arcanine deck when we return. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. As a programmer and low-level math enthusiast, I'm curious if you ever dabbled in programming during your math journey. Yeah, I contributed to a bunch of open source projects when I was in undergrad and grad school. You can find out now long dormant GitHub page in my name that has a bunch of Python and Linux stuff in it. Everything from stats tools for tracking Magic the Gathering tournament data to an Ubuntu Linux fork that I helped start and maintain for a number of years. Yeah, I did some process automation stuff when I worked in corporate America, post-grad school for a while too. My language of choice was Python always. Once you learn Python, it seems like way too much work to program in anything else. Hey, Morietti, thank you for the 17 months. Welcome back. I'm playing with the Weezing Greninja deck you posted in your meta report, but having a blast. Thanks for posting those. Yeah, those are the best part of those videos. The other things that are like, oh, these could be interesting. Some more games with this one, huh? Seems cohesive at least. Big Pincer is any good? It is not. Two energy attackers that die in one to Pikachu EX are a really tough sell. I'm not a huge fan of Articuno. We got a Pokeball. Hopefully fish up a execute here. Research as well. Does Pocket have an untapped equivalent? I mean, Untapped has a Pocket site. But there's no deck tracker for this game, so if you're looking for data-driven style information on Pocket, my weekly meta review is the best thing you're going to get in terms of that. The closest thing you're gonna get. It's me manually combing through tournament data and coalescing it in a way that makes sense. This out. Put Pupper out. We'll start attacking with the egg. Big boy hard smash. Crunch. Executor EX is such an aggressive card early. They offer you a violet egg in this trying time, exactly. I think getting me to 90 is relevant. Interesting. Jeff is the Lorax, he speaks for the trees. LOL. I understood that reference. No danger of them surprising us here, so I'm gonna chill on the potion for now. What's better for Muck Weezing decks? I'm actually a big fan of the full Weezing, full Arbok line, and then a Singleton Muck, Singleton Grimer. Because Muck's like a finisher you don't want a lot of copies of. You want it in the matchups where it's good, but those matchups where it's good tend to go long. I suppose there's a world where they have a second Giovanni, and then the Zapdos clears by Executor? Or are they just face tanking this? That's interesting. Another grass here is not ideal. Want to get Arcanine EX online as soon as possible. They are Pikachu EX. Interesting. Alright, do they have the second Giovanni is the question. That would let them get us with 2 heads. If they clear the Executor this turn, we're going to be in trouble because of the lack of fire energy. We get 1 more turn here, we're in an okay spot. On average, this does 80. 4 coins, 40 per heads. Could also do a whole lot less than 80, potentially. Buy us some time to get to our extra fire energy here, huh? We'll go ahead and Erica. Take those. Looking wild how it's been doing. When our energy hits, it's really powerful. That's an interesting one. The theory craft behind our deck is solid. Executor is a card that really likes going first, and Arcanine's a card that, or Moltres is a card that really likes going second. So if our energies line up, we have some flexibility. Really good Sabrina here for them. I haven't played any X speeds yet, which is decent for us. Yeah, there's the X speed. So we clear this. I think I just want a potion and research here. Because we clear the Jolteon. And so long as I have an X speed next turn, the Arcanine clears anything else they put up in 1 hit. This is, you know, the basic idea. Our front line here can put some pressure on, and then the Arcanine can swap it and clean up. Hey, Litterlin, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think we're set here. How free-to-play friendly is Pocket? Everybody, most of the people that I've talked to, I'm not gonna say everybody, most of the people I've talked to that are free-to-play have said the experience has been good. I don't like to talk to it firsthand because I am very much not free-to-play in any of these games that I touch. Out here, and then Arcanine cleans Pika right on out here. No, I watch on YouTube, but I don't catch live. I wanted to hop on and drop you my Prime sub. Thanks for all your videos. I love the analysis. Thanks for taking the time to kick over to the Twitch side and drop that off, Lind. Anytime you can come back once a month and click that button and put some real dollary dues from Jeffrey Bezos into my pocket. It's the biggest part of the support that I have here that makes my job possible. Yes, drops go live for Marvel Snap in about 2 hours. So we're going to play Pokemon Pocket for 2 hours, and then we'll kick over to Snap for the afternoon or late morning. You are not alone in your journey from Snap into Pocket. A lot of old snappers coming back into Hoaglandia with Pocket being a thing we're doing. Looking for our other Moltres or one of our Growliths here. Or we can hit a great big fat nothing. I always feel extra unlucky when my 6 basic decks broke out their 2nd basic. Yes, if Porygon 2 is reasonable in the Johto expansion, base Porygon's probably a solid card. Either of our basics we could find are pretty solid here. Growlithe lets us... Well, that's not a Growlithe, I suppose to say. Growlithe lets us, start powering up towards this, and Executor, we have the grass lined up. Beggars shan't be choosers. We'll take a Moltres, I suppose. Hey, Token, thanks for the almost 2 years. Welcome back. Why are there coins like that? Because they have a cosmetic. This is the Erica pack that's in the shop right now. When's the Johto expansion coming out? We don't have confirmation that a Johto expansion is happening, but there's notably no Gen 2 Pokemon in the first set. And that feels like it could indicate that they're going to bring them all at once, kind of like we got all of the Kanto in the first set. There's a good spread of things from other gens in the first set. I'm going to burn an X speed so I can keep the fire energy on here, I think. Yeah, I agree. I think the 2 incredibly likely chances for the first big expansion are either Johto going in chronological order or the extreme opposite, pulling up one of the most recent generations and then putting a bunch of those in. I think either of those would be good plays from a sequencing order standpoint. This is punishing if they high roll with Gengar. Gengar's been hitting hard so far. Alright, cool. One miss. One miss is good for us. It's only 1 knockout point for us, though. So we take 90 here down to 50. We have Potion to tread water for a little bit after we clear. 90 down to 40. The Giovanni here means that base Gengar plus Giovanni would clear us next turn. Our window to not draw another basic is closing. We kind of need to get something else going on. He says as he draws the Execute and then never sees another grass energy. Oh, X speed plus Gengar EX is gonna brutalize us. We'll be switching to Snap before the reset, Beans. You could also look at the stream title. And generally speaking, there's a schedule linked under the stream in the information section as well. Twitch drops for Snap start at 11 a.m. Central. Yeah, real awkward draws on both sides there. We were able to power through though. Eggs and grass energy. Alright, I have half of what I wished for. Not really a compelling reason to play the research. Gosh, it's a darn shame this is fire, because if it was grass, this Mankey would just be completely pushed over. That being said, even if we brick on grass for a little while here, like it looks like we're going to, Arcanine is looking to one-shot most of their stuff here. Pretty good for us. Even when this is just like 160 hit point wall, I think that's pretty okay. Arcanine versus Centiskorch and Moltres Ramp. I think 4 energy is a lot more than 3. That is a very large, meaningful difference. Don't think there's any reason to potion in advance. Just gonna vibe. Solomon1, thank you for the 35 months. Welcome back. The +1 per attack on... The +1 per attack on Centiskorch is less relevant than the 4 to start. They can see that we have grass coming up here. They're retreating. Really, that seems strange. You think they might have oops and energy? See, I think they were setting up for... I think they're setting up for Giovanni on the Primeape to clear the Executor is what they're doing. So I'm gonna potion here. So that way if we hit heads, they can't clear us in one. That feels like a Yeah, it could also be that they want Primeape to hit the Arcanine as well. I think this is a good potion. Mirrex, thank you for the brand new Prime. Appreciate it. Excuse me? Excuse me? Is this thing on? I mean, I think that's a sweet line. I have double X speed to put them in the ground after they make it, but I'm picking up what they're putting down. That's clever. It's clever. It means I would need a heads and a Giovanni to clear them, and then they'd clear me on the backswing. I think the opponent's play makes sense. It's just double X speed crushes them. X speed is so good, gamers. It's such a powerful card. And I think we're done here. Again, just like really clean example of what our deck's looking to do. We didn't have even remotely optimal energy this game, and Exeggutor still just bought us enough time to get set up that we then founded energy, did some damage, and then finished with the Arcanine. I really hope they never add Switch to the game. I think X-Speed and Sabrina are way better power level than Switch and Boss's Orders. Double colorless energy would be like double X speed. Kinda. Taking your energy usage for the turn is not nothing, but you're right, it's powerful for that reason. Yeah, Switch is just a non-supporter trader that switches your active with one of your bench. It's really powerful. This is primarily on mobile. Yeah, officially supported on Android and iOS. I'm playing on PC with an Android emulator. Not the egg I was looking for to start. Boss's Orders is a Sabrina where the person playing it gets to pick which card gets put up. It's really good. If they have the Heptile evolution here and they hit a heads on the quick attack, they actually clear my Moltres with weakness here. That being said, my Giovanni means my Exeggutor EX would clear the Heliolisk on the back crack. I think putting singleton restrictions on cards is cumbersome and bad. I would be annoyed if they did that. On average, this gives me at least one, and maybe it does more, so I think it's right to put the energy on here and try and get extra on Arcanine. It's a wash, but... Wonder if they'll bring this to Steam/PC. My assumption is if they expand to other platforms, they'll do Switch first. But they haven't announced any formal plans as of yet. Get any Seadra decks? I think Seadra is in the Kingdra waiting room. It doesn't read as playable. $40 more or 22 itself. All right, Executor, can you win a coin flip for me, bud? We need this. Okay. Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do-do-do-do-do. The big thing that stands out in my mind from these games that I've played with this deck so far is even in these games where our draws have been less than ideal, we've still played functional games of Pokemon Pocket. Just like this game, right? Like, I let on Moltres, but had Grass as my starting energy, and we're still, like, in this game having some back and forth. Which means in the games where things light up for us, we're probably doing something incredibly powerful. If the games where we're floundering, we're still functional. Missing that coin's a big deal. That means if they hit on their coin and we don't draw X speed, we're gonna be in trouble here. Two X speeds, 2 research in 10 cards. Yeah, all of our Pokemon are very durable, right? We've got 160, 150, 140 hit point things. Gives us a lot of time. I guess if they lose the flip on this Electabuzz, it knocks itself out, which is good for us. We could have won our flip, or they could lose theirs. X speed, we win the game. 2 X speeds, 9 cards, and a dream. Lucky. So now I have to decide. I think Sabrina is far more likely than Giovanni plus third bench because they were missing on bench for so long. So I think I'm supposed to potion this and get my attack in. They can't Sabrina and Geo. Yeah, but if they just have Sabrina, if I retreat and they just have Sabrina, I'm locked in and losing the game, Hedge. So you're right, they can't Sabrina and Geobe next turn, winning the game next turn, but if I retreat the Executor and they Sabrina me, the game is over, I can't win anymore. So it's not, Pokemon is not just about thinking one turn ahead, can I survive? It's like chess. You need to be thinking about how the turns play out over the course of several turns for what is likely or unlikely to happen to beat you or not beat you. Again, if I retreated, I lost to them having Sabrina because they're gonna Sabrina me back up and then I'm stuck in. And now we get them. Because they were bricking on bench Pokemon, so they needed to draw the bench and have the Giovanni set up, and they didn't have both. All right, I'm gonna throw this deck list up on screen. It honestly was felt really solid. We did take a brief pause for the cause to run some Twitch ads, but I think we're gonna play a couple more with this one when we get back. So I'm kind of digging it. I was at the gym last night, noodling around in the deck editor between sets. And I was like, what if we did this? I'm kind of into it. We'll see you on the Flipside Gamers in 120 seconds. Galiosaurus, thank you for the raid. I just pressed a Twitch ad. Sorry. In deck building, how many evolution lines should a deck have? So, in my opinion / experience, you should have 2 base Pokemon that you're working around, and then a 5th and potentially 6th extra basic that's just a single line. So like in this deck, it's the Executor and the Arcanine with the Moltres EX as the 5th and 6th. Other good colorless options are things like Kangaskhan or Farfetch'd. Different colors have different extras that are reasonable. Jinx, Hitmonlee, etc. Stuff like that. Pop on into a few more games with this one, huh? Oh no, did our opponent disconnect? Oh, I guess I have to stand up for the bike chair for a little bit, chat. Thanks for sweating a little bit. Back's cramping up. What's going on, Free Ice Dragon? Thanks for taking the time to up that prime again. And notice that Machamp has 1 move, while the Kanto starters have 2 move. Your opponent did not return the allowed time, Sedge. The DC timer for them to get back into the game is incredibly long. It's a very long wait. I assume as this game matures and the complexity of the card pool goes up, we'll see more characters with 2 attacks. Or attacks plus Pokemon abilities. Generally speaking, first sets in new card games like this have more simple base sets. Any reason to do this? I don't think so. So waiting to play your professor's research plays around your opponent tagging you with a red card, which is nice. speed in our future. There's not. There's an egg, which is lovely. It's a fun little game, but it feels like it needs another set or two in order to have a metagame feel more healthy. So much of 3 decks. I mean, speaking as someone who's followed paper card games for a long time, if this game follows the kind of paper card game start of like focusing around just new sets and bans and not rebalances, it's fairly common for these games to have like somewhere between 2 or 4 decks at most that take up a good chunk of the successful things. Just to prepare you for reality. If they ram us here, Grass Energy plus X Speed could punish this Dratini really hard. Now, do they have a Weezing? I guess even if they have Weezing, the X Speed into Arcanine clears them too. Yeah, we're actually just done here, right? Just like Dog is super aggressive. Arcanine is so powerful. The two heads on the Moltres basically letting us take the first energy advantage here. It's insane. Yeah, they're kind of just torched. Like I called out in my meta report from the tournaments this week, the Arcanine decks in general, the mono fire ones, have put up really impressive numbers, which is what inspired me to try this build. But yeah, the card's so good when it runs people down. Arcanine coming to prominence, despite lots of people saying it was terrible to start, is a great example of why in my initial EX Pokemon tier list, I didn't tell you the bottom group was F tier. I classified them as no real home yet. Too many people try to make it black and white and call things good or bad, when in card games, the context is key and the details generally matter. And cards can easily ebb and flow in terms of power level as the format changes or not. Not Gruul, then His deck does have big Gruul energy, wanna be Beetle? I'm getting a dangerous feeling, chat. I'm enjoying this deck enough that I kinda wanna flare this Moltres. I hadn't done so yet because it's a large dust investment, but I do actually have 4 of this 2-star Moltres. The twitch of making irresponsible decisions is starting to develop. Still not an egg tree in sight here, unfortunately. So we can find that off the top. you're having a technical problem with Pokemon Pocket, you should reach out to Pokemon support. I would just say a general note that you should make sure you always link your accounts on these mobile games to some third-party account so your account data is saved outside of your device. Alright, 3 draws at 2 egg trees. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Now, a somewhat interesting question is, do I go for the Arcanine directly or do I go for the Moltres? I guess with the other fire energy on top here, I could hedge this and just still flex to this should I decide to. Do you recommend the Premium Pass? If you're going to spend money on Pokemon Pocket, the Premium Pass is the absolute best money you can spend. It has almost 3 times the average return of the other ways to spend money in the game. This Giovanni here has a lot of value to save because that Giovanni means that Arcanine can clear a full health Zapdos EX in 1 hit. Our thoughts on choosing Executor over Kang. Executor is beefier, and it deals damage more consistently. And the other part of the idea is if I'm following up with an EX Pokemon anyways, they're only going to need to knock out 1 more thing to win, so I might as well make them knock out a really healthy thing to start. So there's diminishing returns on leading on a non-EX if I intend for my second Pokemon to be an EX. I'm going to lose in 2 knockouts anyways. And then again, double X speed probably just clinches the game, yeah? Arcanine puts down the Pikachu, and then it's primed with the Giovanni in the back to get clear something else too. They have nowhere near enough energy to get Zapdos going. This deck was gas, but I want to make sure we play a couple of different things today. So we're gonna change things up here for our next few games. To play some more. That's it. I think I left it in my editor. Yeah, Arbok, or not Arbok, Marowak, good job. Felt pretty clean in some of the games we played. Do any Pokemon in the game have non-colorless retreat costs? I don't believe so. Think for some basic friends. Swing and a mish. I actually wasn't playing any Sabrina in the last deck. Oh my goodness. Holy, what a top deck. Top deck hero. Welcome to the Bone Zone, Coughing. Enjoy. Are we done here? I think we're done here. If they have X speed, they could buy a turn. Baby Marowak is underrated. It's incredibly underrated. I actually like Baby Marowak more than EX Marowak. Generally speaking, I play 2 of these and 1 of these. We are gonna need a follow-up to get through this Wiggly, though. It's not bad. Not bad. U-boat would be nice. Perfect. Perfection. Whatever people suggest playing Diglett, my response is always, you should just be playing Baby Marowak, so that way you have the flex to go into this when it's good. And this game's such a good example of that. Yes, for people that are new to Pokemon, Baby Marowak refers to not Cubone, but non-EX Marowak. Saying baby is less mouth noises. Marowak here with the strong clean out. We're a huge favorite there, even if we don't hit that 25%er. Big Marowak showing up and getting to flex. What's missing from your card collection? Just some cosmetics. I have all the functional cards. But a lot of success with Alakazam, fights a lot of the EX Pokemon. Alakazam puts up pretty sporadic results in the tournament metagame. Alakazam just has what I would refer to as pretty typical Stage 2 problems. Which is, in your games where you just don't assemble your 3-card Pokemon, you flail around and die pretty horribly. You unlock flares at later levels. Flares are unlocked by having multiple copies of the same card. So, like, this Cubone has a flare because I ground up other copies of Full Art Cubone and flared them around him. Do you record every result you got in a spreadsheet? I do not, because one single person cannot generate a statistically meaningful sample size. So it is pointless for me to track my metrics. One person would have to play the same deck for, like, I don't know, a dozen hours a day for a month to maybe have a reasonable sample from just them. So unlikely. That's also true, too. A sample size from a single person has sampling bias in that it's only one person giving you data. Ideally, you want to track data from a diverse range of people playing the deck, like tournament data. Which is why things like the meta report that I do on the YouTube side is more relevant information than one single person playing a deck. Love your deck building process and explanations. Thanks, Hoodwink. When I played a lot of Magic the Gathering, I spent the time traveling the country playing largely off-meta decks that I worked on in various tournament settings. I'm from the United States, but I had ancestors that immigrated here many generations ago. Alright, so we X-speed this out. We hit them with at least one Bonerang, and then they have to discard 2 energies to burn us down, which means the Pidgeotto should have the ability to clean up here, yeah? Oh, I needed not a critical failure. That is true, actually. I forget that I had shared that at one point. I am definitely a good old-fashioned American mutt with lots of heritage from lots of different things, but my most set ancestry is my grandfather on my mother's side was from Italy, 100% Italian. And I think we're dead on the critical failure there. Needed at least one hit. The premium pass, like most daily login things, is the best bang for your buck in Pokemon Pocket by a lot. What do I think about Italy? I don't really have an opinion on Italy. I've never been there. I haven't really done much reading on it. I'm a pretty solidly ignorant American when it comes to international stuff. I've been to the Bahamas, where we largely just stayed at an inclusive resort, and I've been to London. But other than that, largely just been in the US my whole life. The Giovanni with the Pidgeotto means we clear the Mankey in 1 if they Reckless Charge. Oh no! They red carded me! And then I did the statistically likely thing and redrew the 2 cards that they took away from me that win the game. Oh no! Oh, opponent. Gee, opponent, imagine if this red card had simply been another basic Pokemon. Then you wouldn't be dead right now. Consider making better deck building choices, opponent. I just want you to know that truly holy gamers, you will get better at games if you stop getting advice from places like Reddit. People keep referencing me data on Reddit, and every single time I pull up and look at a piece of data point that someone's posted for the Pokemon Pocket subreddit, it could be a textbook example of data doesn't lie, but liars love data, and data is useless without a skilled interpretation helping you understand what it means. I'm reblasting for this deck list. We're gonna take an ad break after this game, and I'll throw it up on screen then. This is a hand. It's okay. Let's just draw a Cubo now. Lovely little lad. For people who aren't familiar with my background, by the way, I know we have a lot of new people in and out every day because Pocket's been popping. In a former life before I was making content full-time here on the internet, I have a graduate degree and undergraduate degree in mathematics. I spent time teaching stats classes at the high school and college level. I also spent time doing data analysis and process automation at a Fortune 50 company for a little while after grad school. I also have 2 decades worth of TCG experience, most of which playing competitively. Digging into numbers and metrics and stuff to optimize my own deck building. Baby Marowak getting to absolutely flex and show why he's awesome here again. Love. I think if you're playing Cubone and you're not playing some amount of both Marowaks, your deck is probably built wrong. Is red card really a bad card? So, the problem with red card in Pokemon Pocket is that the decks are so small is that even when red card is statistically the most optimal it can be, it's still incredibly likely that your opponent redraws their card that's useful. Is the TLDR. And that's not to say it will never be helpful, but it is to say you generally speaking don't know what's in your opponent's hand, so you don't know when you're actually getting rid of the thing that hurts you and when they don't have it and you're giving it to them. And then all of that still doesn't take into account the fact that there's an opportunity cost to put a card like red card in your deck. I have never built a Pokemon Pocket deck and looked at it at the end and been like, man, I have every card in here I want. Whenever I finish building a Pokemon Pocket deck, I look at it and I'm like, man, I wish I could have another Giovanni, or I wish I could have another X-Speed, or I wish I had room to fit a potion in here. I always have way more things I want to fit in than I can fit. I think I'm putting the Hitmonlee up with the X-Speed here. So the Marowak doesn't need a poison here. You think Promo Jigglypuff will be a big upgrade for Wigglydex? I mean, it'll be an upgrade. Big is hard to determine. I appreciate the honorable Koga. I'm out. What's the reason you're on 3 Marowaks and 2 Cubones? I think are we on 3 or 4? We might actually be on 4. Let's pull the necklace up here before we take an ad break and we can talk about some of the choices. We're on at least 3. I think I have 2 babies. I'm only on 1 baby. I'm on 1 baby in this list. I might honestly be wrong. That's one of the things I don't have a strong read on. The reason why you play more Marowaks than you can play Cubones is for the flexibilities. The number of spots where regular Marowak is really good because it gets in efficient damage early and it only gives up 1 knockout point is huge. Regular Marowak also attacks for 1 energy as a stage 1, which makes it good when you're going first. Having the ability to play to both different ones has a lot of value. And like, to go back to talking about, I always want to fit more traders in, it's very possible like this Singleton potion is better as a second Marowak. Second baby Marowak. Just to have the more consistency there. I think EX Machamp is generally better than the baby one. I think once you get set up on him, you want to be as big as possible. I played Magic the Gathering competitively for a number of years. Couple dozen, 100 to 1,000 player tournament top finishes. Mostly with off-meta decks traveling the country. BJ Forget, thank you for the 58 months. They didn't forget to sub-chat, so they're going to get to dodge these ads. Everyone else, we'll see you in 120 seconds. We're going to play a little bit more of this Marowak deck when we get back. And then we've got some other things I want to get to as well. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. Yes, stage 1's not being searchable also means you're more likely to have them. Is correct. My water's actually almost gone, subs. I'll see you in a minute. I'm gonna go fill it up. We have a date on new cards for Pocket. So there is another Lapras EX style mini event that's bringing a new Jigglypuff and a new Haunter at the end of the month. But the next full set will be in the middle of December. Any cool Nidoking, Nidoqueen decks out there? So Nidoking plays well with both Weezing and Arbok. Nidoqueen is not really playable. Needing 2 stage 2 simultaneously is incredibly inconsistent. Hopefully the next Nidoqueen they print will be an independent woman that don't need no man. Because needing your king makes her pretty inconsistent. How does one use the Aerodactyl in the Arcanine EX deck? Flip heads. Which is the Marvel staff box on the thing behind you? Oh, it's just some promo stuff they sent when the game first launched. Is there any optimization of running a baby Machamp and 2 EXs or vice versa? I think in general you just want the EXs. I think the baby one just gets knocked out too easily and doesn't do enough damage. Whereas like the baby Marowak has a different energy attack. Baby Machamp doesn't provide you with flexibility in the types of attacks you have. Lightning. This is a matchup where Baby Marowak is very good if we can find it. Clear the Blitzel in one. Hey, thanks for the super chat, Walter. Appreciate the support. Glad you find the deck list useful on the YouTube side. It's a shame we didn't have Baby Marowak. Baby Marowak here would have knocked this out and put their Pikachu EX so far behind. This is one of the matchups where Baby Maro is very strong. A lot of players using regular Zapdos and Pikachu Day. Yeah, it's a 100 hit point basic. That's a non-EX that retreats to 1. It's a pretty solid card. And its attack comes up being relevant somewhat of the time too. Oh, that's interesting that they're not moving in on the Pikachu. They'll put up the Zapdos without an energy on it to try and buy time here. And then hopefully this drive off will get us some clean knockouts. Any potential for the Raichu Surge Splash? I think once they show Zebstrika, the odds of them being on the Surge build are basically 0. Usually the Surge build doesn't have space for that. They were using Sabrina to tempo us an energy for the turn. I guess putting Pidgeotto up means they could X speed back to this and make me sad. The heal here is actually relevant because it means I can't drive it off and stretch kick to clear it. So we take our second knockout point here. But if they have another bench or a Giovanni, the Pikachu EX can take a knockout point on the Marowak. But I guess they need a bench that doesn't die to Wing Attack, right? Because this is currently set to die to Wing Attack, and they need something else that was big. They need like a Zapdos EX here, right? So they don't die to the drive off into Wing Attack. Yeah, this going to 70 from this Raging Thunder is relevant. And none of those matter. That matters. So it's Drive Off, Hope to Fade Sabrina. We Hitmonlee to finish the Zapdos. We lose to second Sabrina here the way this is lined up. But they're out of potion, so if they don't have second Sabrina here, the Hitmonlee stretches back and clears the Zapdos for our last point. Needed. Cubone 1 turn sooner so I can get the Marowak on the bench. The most consistent of the Pikachu variants. You check out the meta roundup that I posted yesterday where I talk about the best performing Pikachu builds and why. But the meta roundup has 2 parts. It talks about innovations and things that are performing well in the best decks like Pikachu and Mewtwo. And then it goes on to take a look at off-meta things that had one-off top finishes that could be worth looking into. The data analysis in Jeff's meta videos is top tier. Everyone should watch them. Thanks. We put a lot of work into it. Those are easily the videos that take the most effort on the channel by a lot each week. No dark energy for the opponent yet, but they do get to Gas Leak here. I hope they get you paid. I am happy to say that the Pocket YouTube channel is not losing me money, which was the initial goal for it. It's making more than I'm paying the editor. Bichoto clears this Weezing next turn, so I think I leave this in and then we plan to evolve. I'm gonna wait to evolve the Marowak just to give us flexibility in case we draw an EX and want to do that. Thanks for the Into the AM sale info. I was able to order on Friday, and I got my alert that my package is arriving today. Nice! Yeah, my stuff's always pretty quick for them, which is lovely. I think with no evolution on the bench, we're just done here at this point. We clear out the Weezing, and then this is very far behind. Evolving also heals from poison, so they're not getting chip shots in on us. Should they, teleport out into another bench Pokemon, the Dry Moth means they're too far behind. I think in general, Pocket's gameplay is more enjoyable than Snaps has been of the late Darius. I also think as a content creator, it's hard to fully detach from the fact that, like, Pocket metrics are trending up and Snap metrics are trending down. It's easier to have a positive psychological view of the game when there's more job security associated with it. Is there a way apart from hourglasses to get packs? Yeah, your Pokegold can be spent on packs, Jack. One Pokegold reduces 2 hours, or 1 Pokegold is 2 hourglasses, basically. So if you whip out the most powerful card in mobile gaming, your credit card, you can fire up that Pokegold and pick up lots of packs ASAP. I think the one big thing that Pocket has really reinforced in my mind that I really hope they never move away from is whenever I do go to play Marvel Snap offline to like do dailies and stuff, I have to say I find it kind of exhausting and frustrating how much Marvel Snap expects me to play the game in a very specific way in order to clear the rewards. It's very rare that I can log into Marvel Snap and do all my daily missions with the deck I actually want to play. And instead I have to like fire up and like play a deck I don't really like or want to play to just like pick up my $3 or $4 worth of currency a day. Feels like it very much hurts my enjoyment of the game that Marvel Snap says, hey, if you want rewards, this is how you have to play. I am far more worried about the long-term sustainability of Marvel Snap than I am the long-term sustainability of Pokemon Bucket. You're right that all games tend to get less popular over time, but I would wager Pocket systems are structured in a way to help new players get in later compared to Snaps, which have a really core issue with that. Is that the 25% we needed? Is Pokemon more popular than Marvel in general? Pokemon is the most profitable IP in the history of the world. Pokemon also has a heavily built-in audience that's already invested in card gaming specifically as well. So it's not even just that, okay, Pokemon is super popular, which it is. It's super popular. It's super popular while also having a bunch of people that are like, yes, I really like playing card games that are Pokemon. I'm gonna potion here so that way they have to side drive me and not just Giovanni me to get the knockout next turn. Yeah! Or we could have the pendulum swing back to our side. Honestly, Marowak flipping double tails and then flipping double heads is better than 2 heads in a row across 2 attacks because this got them to attach an extra energy to the Mewtwo. Marowak baited them in a way here. That's also true. But Marvel Snap took off in large part due to one of the most aggressive, impressive marketing campaigns I've ever seen for a new game launching, and Pokemon basically doesn't advertise. They wholly expect the strength of their IP to fully carry their game across the finish line. And so far, they're being successful with it. Like, metrics for this game on the Twitch side are like very comparable to Snap, or actually better than what Snaps were at launch, even with their aggressive marketing campaign. Pokemon doesn't spend money advertising because they know they don't need to. I actually don't want to do that. I want a Giovanni so that way 1 heads clears the Sweezing. All right, should we Dragonite gamers? I think I want a Dragonite. I've seen Pocket adverts on YouTube and stuff. That's good to know. Pokemon has grossed almost 100 billion since 1996. The MCU has grossed 32 billion since 2009. Yeah. Goombars. I've been playing good decks so far to start. I need to play some bad decks. And to give you a Pokemon Pocket specific number, it was reported that Pocket brought in 12 million in revenue in its first 4 days after launch. So to set a low bar, the expectation that this game is printing money is certainly the case. All right, girl, do your thing. Yep, that's your thing. That's your thing, Misty. Sure is. You do exactly what I wanted. What's going on, Loopy? Classic Misty gaming. I think I want to dig for Dratini now since I have an energy this turn. Yikes. Hadn't played against an Articuno EX all morning. Queued up with my own Misty deck and immediately hit a mirror. Wake up, sheeple. Prater, thank you for the 16 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Making's as rigged as the earth is flat. Wake up, gamers. Been playing Electros Weezing. That sounds sweet. Is Electros 1 colorless or 2? I forget. I know it's at least 1. It's 1, yeah. Mama Kanga ready to put hands on this cat. Oh, you're not using Dark Energy. I'm not a huge fan of the Weezing decks without Dark Energy. I think Weezing deserves to be a real Pokemon that can attack. At least I can sit here and do cardio while my opponent runs the timer down. Do you like Charizard decks? I'm not a fan of Moltres Charizard, but I like Rapidash Charizard. Moltres Charizard dies to Pikachu and is pretty inconsistent. It's very unlikely that I do non-sponsored Genshin Impact on stream. The audience that I have here just doesn't have metrics for that kind of game. However, you're someone who supports. You should make sure you're in the supporter Discord server. We've got a super active Genshin Impact thread in there. I've been a daily Genshin player for, gosh, probably coming up on 3 years now. It's been forever. Deck list for the Rapidash Charizard decks up on my YouTube channel. I think the title was something about Charizard re-image without Moltres. A lot of great off-meta things up on there if you're not keeping up. With the Misty high roll, do we X speed and start cracking through here? I think so. Rapidash Charizard have tournament tops? No one's playing it in tournaments. It's also worth noting that Moltres Charizard only has tournament finishes because there's lots of people playing it. It has incredibly mediocre performances across the board. There are not drops for Pokemon Pocket. There will be drops for Marvel Snap starting in about 50 minutes, and we'll be switching over to there before they start. Cordell. Speaking of Charizard without Moltres, the deck highlight that'll be going up on the Hooglandia Pocket channel this morning is actually Mewtwo without Gardevoir, in a very similar vein. Honestly, after I say this as someone who's made an incredible amount of money from Marvel Snap drops existing on Twitch. Depending on the frequency, I actually think Marvel Snap running drops as close together as they have has really hurt the Marvel Snap channel on Twitch overall. It creates this big incentive pool for creators to only stream a bunch during drops and then not stream a lot in between drops. So if you're someone that wants regular, consistent content on Twitch, drops actually hurts that from happening if they run too frequently. They both don't feel special, and it makes it harder for people to get consistent content in the game that they enjoy. I feel like I'm gonna need to make a command for the Reddit analysis because, God, it's so bad. We're gonna get asked about it a lot. All right, so we only need one heads here. Yeah, we needed one heads over 2 turns. Can we get it? Unlucky. Maybe they'll full smoke one of my things here and be unlucky as well. Statistically average, and we're dead. Rip. All right, Reddit data. Data doesn't lie, but liars love data. Data without proper/skilled interpretation is useless. I think we're gonna do that. I think that's gonna be our Reddit data command. Redbeard, thank you for the 3 years. Appreciate that. Welcome back. What's the lore for the PhD command? All of the commands on the wall of shame are things real, living, breathing human beings typed into my chat before they were promptly banned at some point. They're immortalized forever because it's one of those I can't believe this is something we would write. Second, lovely. I'd like to throw hands at this Caterpie, please. What are the odds people saying those things are 13-year-olds? I got bad news for you about the state of society, chat. Almost 100% of the miserable people that exist on the internet are not children. They are adults. They are 20 and 30-somethings whose lives are absolutely miserable, so they're lashing out at random people on the internet because they're in a bad spot personally. Children in general tend to be well-meaning and not awful. Assuredly, there's gonna be a lightning energy down here somewhere, right? Snuggle Bear, thank you for the 63 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. This Giovanni does not matter? Lightning energy! Glorious. We'll research to dig for a Misty. Yeah, there's a good chance this game's gonna be an example of why Butterfree and Meltan, Melmetal are kinda clunky. Just because, like, there's so much setup for a thing that, like, gets gone over the top of so hard by other things in the format. I don't know. Maybe my Dragonite's gonna distribute perfectly and their Butterfree's gonna counter us. Let's see. But in general, there's a reason why Melmetal doesn't have results. It's a lot of work for a pretty minimal payoff. Red card got rid of our Fallout Misty. I know, I'm salty about it. The stupid pleb Misty flipped the tails. Pop the Draco. The full art would have hit heads, I agree. Unlucky. Riddle me this, Jeff. If Melmetal's so bad, why do I keep playing it? Probably because you enjoy this channel. We're bad deck connoisseurs here. $14-month Hoaglandia subscriber. Can't stop playing the bad deck. Yeah, that checks out. You think Pocket has too simple of gameplay? I think elitist, egotistical gamers who aren't actually that smart regularly confuse the idea of easy to learn with lacking depth. And Pocket has plenty of depth while also being easy to learn. E-chat, full art Misty, pay to win coin, 3 water energy, queue it up. It's really funny. It's been really funny to me watching Marvel Snap people experience Pocket, because you could literally copy and paste a bunch of the comments that Magic the Gathering players made incorrectly about Marvel Snap to Marvel Snappers making those comments about Pokemon Pocket. Because Pocket and Snap actually both do a really good job of like having the basic gameplay easy to pick up while still offering depth and strategic variety. Like they're good games that are going to be widespread and popular compared to other card games because of that. I'm going to throw the deck list up on here. I'm going to pedal for 2 minutes while these adverts roll. We're going to play some more Dragonite when we return. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. And a lot of that too is like the elitism / being invested. People who play Magic the Gathering or Marvel Snap have hundreds of hours and sometimes thousands of dollars invested in those games. So like when a new card game comes up that they see other people liking, they feel this knee-jerk reaction to need to put it down and say it's bad to justify in their mind the investment they've made into the other game. Because if Pocket is good, and they might like Pocket, and they might like Pocket more than Snap, well then was all the things they put into Snap so far wrong? Did they make a mistake? It's not possible for them to enjoy two things. Yeah, it's very card game tribalism is very common. And the tribalism is extra bad when people have spent a ton of money. The pedaling component of the chair silent. It has a very soft to it, but you probably can't hear it even at a first row of desks. Yeah, it's comparable to any exercise bike. Josh, thank you for the 21 months. As an FYI, my editor actually just sent me our YouTube ad insert. FlexiSpot's gonna be having some end of the month Black Friday sale stuff starting on the 21st, so if you're in the market for a new chair or a desk bike like this, or a standing desk, wait a couple of days for me. Big fan of their standing desks. Yeah, I've been working with FlexiSpot for almost 2 years now. And over that 2-year period with the promos I've done with them, I've sold over $20,000 in chairs and desks and other ergonomic equipment. And never had the community report a problem with it. And I use mine every day for double-digit hours. I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to play Amir. I'm gonna take a mulligan on the matchup. It's my favorite Pokemon. Alolan Sandshrew is in my little banner down here because he's my favorite, despite not being in pocket yet. Hey, Pizza, thank you for the nice amount of months. I appreciate the 69. Welcome back. All right, we're gonna Pokeball at Articuno. We're gonna hit 3 heads on Misty. We're gonna X-Speed, knock out the Ghastly, and win the game on the spot. I don't think this deck works without Baby Articuno. Your Misties are much worse. This is the TLDR. Baby Articuno not only working with Misty, but also making it so you have a high HP, low retreat cost card to put up to buy you time for Dragonite is kinda unique. It serves a couple of different roles in what it's doing in this deck. I also had a good experience with FlexiSpot's customer service. They picked up a standing desk and it managed to stick itself in standing position. I wouldn't be surprised if he messed it up building and they ended up sending him a new one for free. That's great. I actually haven't had to interface with their customers stuff myself. You played the Pidgeot Marowak deck. We played a Pidgeot Marowak deck. I'll probably have a highlight up here at some point. I'm not a huge fan of all the card choices in the one from the Meta Roundup video, but I think that archetype has legs, yeah. I've been exploring 2 Baby Articuno and 2 Misty as a package in other decks, and I've been liking it in Wigglytuff. That's a neat idea. It's like a tank slash thing that hits sometimes when you pull it together. I like that concept. I'm gonna go ahead and potion this turn, because if they have Gengar on curve here, I want them to not be able to clear me for 50 next turn. Buy some extra time. FlexiSpot shipped to Canada. Yeah, I believe so. What's my favorite deck? I really enjoy Greninja. Our lack of Articunos and Dragonairs is a little sad. Orion, thank you for the 22 months. Welcome back. I picked up one of the FlexiSpot desks since I started working from home, and it's one of the best upgrades I've made to my setup. Nice! Look at all that. The FlexiSpot enjoyers coming out. Their sale starts on Thursday, I think it is. Was this the 21st? Yeah, Thursday. We'll have some commands and stuff up for them. Actually, my life's been so hectic with the kids going back to school. We actually just got one of their under-desk treadmills for my wife's office upstairs, but we haven't opened it up and got it set up for her yet. So I'm curious to see how that looks and feels. Alright, let's Misty before we decide where energy's going here. Any thoughts on Weezing, Arbok, anti-meta deck? It's okay. Looking on places like Untapped, looking at places like Tournament Data, it doesn't really have stellar stats. And I haven't dug into exactly what its matchup tables look like, but the deck list is not... The deck list isn't missing results because people aren't playing it. They are, it just isn't amazing. Alright, assuredly we find a Dragonair before it's too late, yes? Oh, now I gotta decide, do I wanna Misty here or not? I think the answer is no. I think I wanna get the Dragonair so we can attack with Dragonite next turn. Mother of God, gamers! Please! Hands and knees, I'm begging! Begging! I would be surprised if Pokemon does card changes and rebalancing. They're a pretty old school company that's typically resistant to do things like that. Maybe they'll surprise us. They haven't said one way or another, but... Is Pocket TCG better than the normal TCG? It's very different. It's a modernized version. So I'm sure there are things people would prefer from the paper one, but as someone who enjoys more modern game design, Pocket definitely has more modern game design than the regular TCG. Does Misty affect the variance of the entire deck? Asking the real questions. It does exist! Holy. Alright, Dragon, I'm gonna need you to put this game on your back, buddy. What are we thinking, gamers? What are we thinking? I don't have 2 potions here. Just win a coin flip. That's true. That's true. We just won 3. Can we win a 4th? Oof. That's fine. Dragonite is primed and ready. Ready to drop bombs. Let the Dracos hit the board! Let the Dracos hit the board! How long do you think it'll take the devs to change the coin flip to a genuine 50-50? My dear gamer in Christ, if you think the coin flips are rigged, you are too stupid to be a good culture fit for this channel. Please see yourself off to one of the other many Pokemon Pocket channels that will tolerate people saying things that nonsensical. I'm sure they exist. Confident they exist. Here's the hard pill you need to swallow. The coin flips are not rigged. You're bad and need to get better. The game is not rigged against you. you need to improve mechanically at the game. We did do 150 to the wrong guard there, unfortunately. Unlucky. Learning from my mistakes and getting better at the game, very difficult. Saying the coin flip mechanic is rigged and scapegoating all culpability for the reason that I lose, very easy. Honestly, all the conspiracy theories in this game are really good fodder for letting you easily filter out who is and isn't worth listening to. It was really disappointing seeing the number of people that were like pushing bent quarter packs and coin flip tricks and other stuff for the sake of milking the algorithm on various social media platforms. Speaking of escaping culpability, game is so unbalanced you only win with luck. Imagine writing those words into my chat after the speech we just gave. If you truly think there's no skill in Pokemon Pocket, you are not good enough at the game to understand what you don't understand. And that's not to say that you're gonna be able to win every game, but it is to say that there's plenty of agency in the choices that you make over the course of a lot of games, and that you will win more than you lose if you are playing a good deck and you are playing it well. Dark J, thank you for the 25 months. Welcome back. This is guaranteed to win. Yes, no possible way it doesn't. There's no way for this to land on the board and not give us a third point. It's like people saying there's no skill in poker even if you don't flip the nuts. Yeah, you can even play decks without coins. Yeah, but the decks without coins aren't inherently more skill testing for what it's worth. Plenty of other card games don't have literal coin flips on their card, and they're still way higher variance than this. It's your favorite version of the Pikachu EX deck. The Raichu builds with Lieutenant Surge have been the best performing. You can check out the meta report for some sample deck lists that are good. Valix, thank you for the 18 months. Welcome back. What does X speed do? It reduces your retreat cost by 1. It's one of the most powerful traders in the game. Honestly, after Pokeball and Professor's Research, it's probably the third best. And talking about skill, this is a huge decision point this turn. Is where and how you attach your energy is one of the most skill testing things in this game. And the Kangaskhan here gives us a 25%er to end the game on the spot, which I think has a lot of upside. So we're gonna roll with that one. And even if we don't hit the 25%er, getting some amount of damage going would be nice. This takes 2 hits to clear from the Starmie. And then we have Misty to power up Articuno as a secondary attacker if we brick on the Dragonair. Says local man about to flip tails. You want a searing hot take about card gamers in general? Card gamers are often the type of people who want their game to make them feel smart, but not require them to actually be smart. That's one of the reasons why you have so many people who like to write off all their losses as bad beats, because it removes culpability. It allows them to be like, oh, when I win, I'm brilliant, and when I lose, I'm unlucky, and the game's all variance and all coin flips. Speaking of coin flips, gamers, holy, what a skill game. What a skill game. Saying that while we're flipping 6 heads and 7 coins is extra chef's kiss. That one's making it into the YouTube highlight. I saw a Kabutops Onyx deck. Do you think the Kabutops Primate version is also? I think Primate, unfortunately, is kind of mid. Getting cleared by EX Pikachu and 1 is a big downside. Kangon Articuno, letting us deal damage while also powering up Dragonite as an unstoppable attacker in the back is real nice. Like, they gotta clear through these 100 hit point leads and then also not die to this as the follow-up is a lot of moving parts for the opponent to try and get past. Bent quarter packs are real. If you think bent quarter packs are real, you think the loot boxes are broken in the loot box game and it's not going to be fixed in a matter of hours or days at the absolute worst, has been broken for 2 weeks since the launch, absolute nonsense. One, if it's broken and they're aware it's broken, it's literally illegal in a number of countries for your loot boxes to not have the stats that are publicly visible in the client. So what do you think is more likely? Do you think it's more likely that there's a bunch of confirmation bias by people who aren't very bright and have a bad statistical understanding? Or do you think the Pokemon Company is knowingly breaking the law in a number of countries with their new game? Which of those two things seems statistically more correct? And for what it's worth, for the mostly reasonable people, talking about how people who are susceptible to regular harmless conspiracy theories are more likely to believe other more dangerous, harmful stuff in the long term. So it is important that you cut off that type of bunk right away to make sure people don't end up down that pipeline / rabbit hole. It turns out training your brain to believe BS leads to more BS. Yeah. Yeah, that could be cool around the bend. I could see Kang plus Articuno being good there too. birds. The birds are not government drones. Someone asked, why are you not streaming on YouTube? I am currently live on the Hoaglandia Pocket YouTube channel, which is extra funny that channel had a marked viewer dip when we started crapping on conspiracy theories. Oh, average YouTube viewers. But we're actually about to switch over to Marvel Snap. If you're looking for more Pocket stuff from me, I'm about to hit publish on a Mewtwo non-Gardevoir deck featuring Kangaskhan and Clefable on the Hoaglandia Pocket side. If you're interested in watching Marvel Snap content on YouTube, I'm going to kick over to the Jeff Hoagland channel where our Snap content is siloed over there. And we're going to keep streaming on the Twitch side as well because Twitch has drops for Marvel Snap happening here in just a couple of minutes, 15 minutes. Let's get fired up here, huh? Appreciate folks that were here for Pocket early today.